Peace.
Peace to the God. What's the vibe, tribe?
You know, lately, I've been helping my associates identify the trauma work, and you know, they like they can't stop thanking me. But listen, I can't call you a brother if I don't treat you like one.
Fact.
And a lot of us are dealing with trauma work. Some of us are farther along in the journey because you can't crack the seal on your future until you rip the band-aid off your past. You know,
Mm.
and you know, you help me with that. You know, it's this post that like I still look at like day to day when it says when you ask me what's attractive, and then the first thing you said was emotional intelligence, and then you proceeded, and then as you went further along, it only got stronger and stronger, right? And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for what you do, because you're doing the public a public service without the public even knowing, because you are a free therapist, a free psychiatrist, a free physical trainer, and I just want to say thank you. And everything that you're doing is appreciated, man. I just, I'm, you know, and listen, I really don't say this to human beings because I'm only humbled to the Almighty Yahshua. But listen, I'm humble being in your presence, God.
I
And
appreciate that more than you know, G. I
come
appreciate
on,
that
man.
more than
Thank
you
you,
know, G.
man. Listen, you sit on it and you help us, young, old, man. You helping us, and you help us to help those in our circle, because now the tribe has spoken. Once the tribe has spoken, then the next thing is we take actions, because like I said a couple days ago, I believe it's 3 stages to life. It's just like dependence, independence, interdependence. You got the heart, spirit, and the soul. The heart fuels the body with blood, the spirit fuels the inner being with energy, and the soul carries on your name. It's 3 stages to everything, man. And like, I'm not gonna stay long, man. I just wanted to get up here and tell you I love you and I appreciate you, brother.
God, I love your soul. Your reflection, man. We both sons. That's why we shining like ones. You know that?
Ha 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 ha.
Know that?
Yo, peace, King. I'm about to get into these stencils, man. Go fucking crazy in here, man.
As you should, G-O-D. As you should.
Peace to the God, man. And enjoy your night, man.
Yeah, peace to the God. Enjoy your progress and your prosperity. Stay the motherfucking course.
Ha ha.
And this is why we do what we do. A lot of motherfuckers really don't understand, like, this be the reward. Like, I had somebody ask me before, yo, how do you know you really helping people if you're not getting paid by everybody? Man, look, I literally have been homeless 3 times in my fucking life. Homeless, without a physical place to call my own. Bouncing around from couch to couch, sometimes sleeping in fucking project stairwells in the fucking tops of buildings and shit. Me. Because I'm not special. I'm going through the human experience. I can lose it all like anybody else. But on that journey of losing it all, anytime I lose it all, am I going to revert back to the lowest fucking version of me and start giving people all my pain and darkness? Or am I going to hold on to my fucking spark? And in those moments when it seemed like I got nothing, I still give the world everything I do have to give. That's how we make a fucking change. That's how we make a fucking change. That's how we build niggas back up out of their broken despair. Their ineptitude. We all have moments of inequity. We all have moments of ineptitude. We all have moments where we literally know we are in our lowest stage. But what the fuck does that mean? Because if I'm at my lowest stage, aren't I standing on the launching pad to greatness? Because isn't everything great after being at the lowest stage of reality? Or are we really lying to ourselves, convincing ourselves that, oh yeah, I'm going to start out on top. I'm going to start out deserving the riches of the world. How the fuck can you even enjoy the riches of the world If you don't know what it is to have nothing in this world, if you don't know what it is to sit there and have to steal a fucking meal, how you gonna enjoy that fucking filet mignon? How you enjoying that shit? The fuck make you think you're gonna enjoy that shit? You can't even see how much you earned in life until you see how much you lost in it at the same time, because it's duality. This is duality. Dr. Manhattan shape and shift reality. Polarity is what rules us. There's two ends of the spectrum. And anybody trying to fucking convince us of this gray area, they lying, they manipulating, and they attempting to trick us so that we can't see what it takes to really get to the promised land. If hell's on earth and we all walking through it, then doesn't that mean that heaven is something we need to create from inside? All these different books that reference the gods, right? The Torah, the gospel, the Quran, all these different books throughout history. And we think that we don't really have a connection to the eternal? I don't give a fuck what your preference is of religious belief. Do you recognize that you were tapped into the eternal? Have you yet to recognize that you got the same fucking divine spark that any prophet that walked this earth has had? But they convince us that in our timeline, we can't be the divine. They convince us in our timeline that we can't save people by saving ourselves, because we don't save nobody. We save ourselves, and then we don't hide from the fact that we had to save ourselves. And then in that moment of sharing, that moment of being transparent and candid, we spread the spark. And we stand as a mirror to remind everyone around us that you got the same fucking spark in you. Choices. Yo, it's choices for real. You're definitely my therapist, whether you know it or not. A lot of shit you be saying really be for me and help me and guide me. Yo, I'm Chantel. I appreciate you. I appreciate you to the most high. You already fucking know. Jen Bragg, what up? Lady Keys, what up? House of Synergy in the building. Peace to the guys and the goddesses in the room. You already know the fucking Bob's Tribe is all time. Let yourself shine. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, life is easy and it's going to be easy. Everybody that's trying to tell you about the ease of life and how your life deserves to be easy is literally attempting to placate you. They literally attempting to get you to not stand in your own grace and strength, because life must test us all. Who hasn't experienced pain in a lifetime? Who? Who the fuck ain't dealt with loss in a lifetime? Setbacks in a lifetime? Deceit from the people we love? The deepest pains we ever gonna feel are gonna come from the people closest to us. Every fucking time. So how do you bounce back from that? How, right? How do I get to a better place when I feel like there's nothing left for me? By looking in the fucking mirror and reminding yourself that everything you ever said you wanted from yourself is already there. Every little dream of when you was a kid of, the night that's going to save you from your life, the person that's going to bring you to the promised land in your life. You fail to recognize and realize and accept a simple truth, that you was never dreaming of another person coming to save you. You were dreaming of the older version of you. So yeah, in this timeline, the greatest version of self exists on the same coin as the worst version of self. Which fucking side of the coin will you stand on? Because it's ebb and flow. Best believe you're gonna go back and forth between the two states and perpetuate them both at certain points of your life. But which one are you gonna claim? Are you the hero of your story? Or are you the victim of somebody else's? Like I said, everybody went through shit. Everybody got pain. Our world is sick and fucked up. A lot of us got uncles that did shit they shouldn't did, aunties that did shit they shouldn't have did, cousins that did shit they shouldn't have did when we was kids. This is such a wild cyclical existence. So many of us are sharing the same pains and same traumas, but we so fucking scared to even attempt to look at it because we feel alone, and they convince us that we're alone and we gotta do it on our own. Yeah? We gotta do it on our own, but the powers that be grouped up and clicked up scratch his head in disbelief. The fuck is we talking about? Oh, nah, kid. You don't gotta be that aggressive about it. Yeah? Nah, I don't. But they aggressively told us we need to take them fucking shots, right? They aggressively told us if you don't take them shots, you're going to lose your job, right? They aggressively told us if you don't do this, then you don't love your family, right? Oh, we forgot? Did everybody forget? Oh, it's 2024, so 4 years ago don't exist no more, right? I got it. We supposed to just act like none of this shit that happened, right? Because we back outside, right? We outside again, y'all. Everything is back to normal. Oh, word? Nah. Someone once told me that energy is called currency because it ebbs and flows like an ocean current. Facts of fucking life. Claire Louise MCC in the building. What's the vibes, tribe? Just Be Nice 333. What's happening? Xavier Lasso. What's happening? A More 312. Peace, light, love. John, aka The Truth. A lot of pain comes from self, though, God. Now, that's a fact. We will literally create a cage of our own despair, a prison of our own despair. I was just finna ask you that, bro. How did you manage to overcome the adversity? I just had to stay this fucking course. And I had to literally become aggressive with myself. I had to become aggressive. I had to literally stand in a square and say, I fucking refuse to be less than. I don't give a fuck what they told me. I don't give a fuck who don't believe me. I don't give a fuck who sees me as the worst version of me from 18 years ago. Fuck y'all. The evolution that we go through as individuals, we do for ourselves. So how do we get to the point of loving ourselves? Just fucking love yourself. If you got to do it angrily, do it angrily. If you got to do it ragefully, do it ragefully. Because guess what? These motherfuckers have been trying to burn us to the ground since day one. Burn out our spirit, burn out our mind, and burn out the potentiality of growth. So again, if you don't have your passion and fire right now, let mine spark yours. Because when these motherfuckers come to your door to tell you what you gotta do next round, you better be ready to stay on your fucking square, or they're gonna take everything away. Because life ain't fair. And it ain't supposed to be. Growing versus evolution. That's a fact. That's a fact. This ain't the stage of growth. This is the stage of evolution. We already grew. I do it angrily, but I've been told I need to grow. You know what? Listen to me. The same people that would tell us to quench our fires will only do so because they fear our potentiality. If you might be a threat to me and I see you standing in your light and you getting aggressive like, yeah, I know I can take the world. Think about this. Sovereignty. We have had conquerors in our world. In our history, we study these people. Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, Napoleon Bonaparte, Caesar. What the fuck is we talking about? But we honor the conquerors of the past and we think we not conquerors now? Fuck they thought. Nah. So if you got fire in you, I don't give a fuck if it's your family, your friends. Nobody should be trying to convince you to put your fire out because it's your fire that in your darkest moments is your guiding light. Because in your darkest moments, you're not going to see nobody else around you. You're only going to see your spark. You're only going to be able to hold on to your spark. And if you let these silly motherfuckers convince you to put your fire out, I promise you, you're not going to get where you're trying to go. How do you know, kid? Because I fucking let them convince me at one point to quench my flame. I fucking let people convince me that I need to be less than. Oh, my passion is anger, and I shouldn't be so angry. Really? Why the fuck aren't y'all angry? There's a better question. Fuck it, let's call it what it is, anger. Why the fuck shouldn't we be angry? We live in a social construct where they're consistently telling us who we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to be, and how far we can go in our life based on where we were born and what our financial status is. So at what point do we use the anger to move ahead? Because the anger's not making me hurt people around me. The anger's motivating me in the morning to get the fuck up when I really don't want to. The anger's motivating me in the middle of the night to get the fucking workout done. Because if I don't do it, I won't do it. Be humble. Humble means be modest and less than. Fucking talk about it. There's etymology to these words. There's power in these words. But they want to convince us we don't got the power. We can't control this. No. Just listen to us. Be meek. Be humble. Humble thyself. Suck dick. What the fuck is we talking about? Didn't they want the slaves in America to be humble? Didn't they use the gospel to help keep the slaves enslaved? Oh, no, don't talk about that. That's the past. That's the past. That's not now. Really? We not in mental bondage now? We not sitting in spiritual bondage now? There's not a spiritual war going on right now? The fuck is we talking about? At some point, we truly have to take stock of reality on reality's terms. Fuck what they telling us it is when we see what it is. They literally telling us, oh, close your eyes. You can't really see what's going on. You don't really understand. We understand. You can't understand your life. We understand your life. The fuck is what? Where did we lose ourselves? At what point did we forget that we are born of gods and goddesses, that we are Moorish descent, Moorish Islamic descent? We are born from the children of Chem. We are born from the lost tribes. And at some point, as the shit gets thicker and thicker in this fucking reality, we left with one or two choices: reclaim thy power or die in servitude. Choices, right? This is everything. Suicide's at an all-time high. It's time to fight and trust the universe is working for us, not against us. That's a fact. That's a fact. Common day slavery, that's a fact. You know, I'm saying, humble these nuts. Hey, yo, hey, the God, yeah, next time motherfucker tell you be humble, tell the motherfucker, yo, humble these nuts, bitch. Fuck you talking about? The fuck is we really talking about? This is not a nice time in history. We gonna cross a whole lot of sectors when I get through this shit. I promise y'all, if they take me out today, please, man, take every fucking video I got, repurpose it, reconstitute it, make it your fucking own. Because each one of them videos got a spark of my spirit in it. And I promise you, I might not, like Pac said, I might not be the one that changed the fucking world, but I guarantee you I'm gonna spark the mind that does. Because they doing everything in their power to make us question us. The fuck? Man, look. I stopped questioning myself quite some time ago. And I recognize when I started to lean into who I am and how I am and what I am, people around me started to reveal themselves as snakes in the grass. I'd rather burn all the grass around me and stand in the desert of my own creation where I have the potential to build than stand in the fucking garden of snakes and demons. For what? Because I won't be alone? Because I need comfort? Because it's hard by yourself? You got you. And as soon as you take the time to get you for real, then you find your tribe. Then you find the people that's air-likes, that got the same resonant frequency. We can let these people trick us all they want. Oh, pseudoscience and blah, blah, blah. Let's not forget that quantum mechanics and quantum theory is the science they use to hide the fact that we have a connection to spirit. Very hard to trust anyone. Shit, I say trust none. Trust thy motherfucking self. Trust thy motherfucking self. Because the minute you take time to trust yourself, you'll be able to discern in real time the people that don't deserve an iota of your trust or time. This shit is not a game. Peace, light, love to the queen. What's the vibe? House of synergy in the building. What's happening?
Peace to the guys and the goddesses was popping. It was. I didn't charge my voice up a little bit. It's like on 20%, but you know. I wanted to share something with you, right? So I've been studying chakras, like chakra healing, and I'm gonna send you this PDF too. But you know, a lot of people regard anger. Anger is considered one of the 4 major negative emotions, right? It's probably number 1. And it's funny because when I read this, what I'm about to read to you, it completely changed my perspective on anger, okay? Because I used to think anger is a useless emotion because obviously it doesn't feel good to be angry, right? Like it's not something that you want to feel. So check me out. So anger by itself is a healthy emotion. It helps us stand up for ourselves, create healthy boundaries, initiate action and change, and escape harmful situations. However, when it is unexpressed, channeled in unhealthy ways, or harms ourselves or others, it can cause discord in our lives. When we are angry over a situation or at someone, the root is often fear. Fear that our safety, our livelihood, our survival is being threatened. Because of this, anger often resonates with the root chakra, which is our survival chakra. But fear turning into anger can affect the other chakras too. For instance, our crown chakra, which is our over here, may need balancing if we feel like we've been dealt a bad hand in life and are angry at the divine, the source, the universe, the God, goddess for the perceived injustice, right? And then our third eye chakra may be involved if we are not in touch with our emotional intelligence. We're unable to trust beyond what we can physically see, such as being frustrated with the current situation without seeing the bigger picture, nor trusting that we have options other than what's in front of us. It's almost done. Stay with me. And we rely only on our intellect. If we feel triggered into anger by being silenced or unable to or express ourselves, this is something I have to struggle with, our throat chakra is out of harmony. If our anger is due to feeling like our heart has been trampled on, we're focused on past hurts, we feel lonely, or we find it hard to forgive, our heart chakra needs healing. If we are angry because we have been placed in an unhealthy power dynamic, like dealing with toxic coworkers or an unhealthy relationship, or if we feel like things are out of control in our lives, our solar plexus chakra is out of balance. Lastly, our sacral, not to be confused with the solar plexus chakra, might be out of balance if our creativity is being stifled or our emotions are repressed. So creativity and emotions being repressed is directly related. Our anger will also continue to come from here when we have experienced sexual abuse or feel our sexuality has been threatened. So this shit, when I tell you, bro, this shit was like, wow. All it takes is a perspective change. That's all. When you realize life and our experience in life, everything is, we're all biased to a degree. We're all biased because of our experiences. That's literally the lens that we're looking through. And until we clean that lens, we're going to, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to change. Our perspective is not going to change. It's an ebook. You know what? I'm going to post it. Or anyone who wants it, just inbox me and I'm going to send it to you.
Make sure y'all follow my House of Synergy. Tap in if you need that custom artwork. And obviously, she got the PDFs to help you get your motherfucking mind and your soul right.
Listen, hey, this is just work I'm doing for myself. And if I can share with people and if it helps people, absolutely, esthetician. Yeah, if it helps people, I'm grateful. You know, like you were saying, being of service is very important to me. It's literally, it's the foundation of my purpose, right? Like, I feel like that's everybody, because as human beings, nobody wants to be alone. Like, nobody wants to, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we need that connection. And in order to have genuine connection, we have to genuinely be able to, you know what I'm saying? Like, every time I come in here based off like what? Like one post I seen, and I'm like, boom, this is the energy I need. And then I find out you a Leo, and I'm like, that's where that fire energy is coming from. This is a safe space. I can be my fiery self. I can be ratchet. I can be righteous. But, yeah, like, I appreciate you. So try, like, you already know the vibes. I just had to share that.
I appreciate you to the fullest, and all praise to the Most High for aligning us so we could be in the soul tribe. Shit. This shit is real.
Absolutely.
This shit is real.
Absolutely.
Mo from the city, what up? Graphics, Lexi, what up? Yeah, make sure y'all following House of Synergy, man. If y'all not tapped in, because these motherfucking apps, they be trying to make sure we disconnected. They really go out their way to make sure we disconnected. That's why when people set their alerts to see when I'm live, they don't get the signal. Like, they boot niggas out the live. They got motherfuckers thinking I'm booting them out my live and shit. Listen, if we don't create connection amongst ourselves, within ourselves, and to those that are air-likes and connected to the same resonant frequency as us, then we are not using these tools to the fullest. The tools are just using us. And realistically, the tool to your salvation is the tool of your destruction. It depends on, like you said, what lens are you looking through? Are you the addict using this shit and all you want to do is just scroll? Or are you sitting there making sure that every page you follow feeds your mind and feeds your spirit? And every time you tap into a live, it's feeding your mind and feeding your spirit. Or are you going out your way to go into the lives where the only energy that you're getting is the energy of hatred? the energy of destruction, the energy of self-loathing. That's a choice. We could keep playing blind, deaf, and dumb. But as I said, it's a fucking spiritual war. You don't want to believe in spirit? Then you probably already sacrificed yours.
That's the thing, is like we are spiritual beings before we're physical beings. And it's crazy because science is now, there's certain scientists that are actually coming out and saying science confirms spirituality. It's literally
quantum mechanics and quantum physics. I was just talking about it earlier.
Absolutely. We are the observer and the observed. So like how that's
string theory.
This shit is so it's so many levels to the understanding.
For sure.
So many levels. And it's crazy. I came to that understanding of quantum physics and all this shit, epigenetics, thought activating DNA. Thought is above DNA. So you can literally change your DNA with your thoughts. Literally, and it's not pseudoscience anymore. This shit is proven. I can give you doctors. I was listening to this one Canadian doctor, right? This shit blew my mind. He said somebody came in and he had a brain tumor, right? Tell me why. Now he's getting deeper into the psychology. This is why I fuck with this doctor, because he actually cares. He'll actually talk to you about your life. So to the point where the guy who had the brain tumor, he had it in the same spot where he used to, when he was younger, he used to point at himself with his handgun like this, and he used to think about suicide, and he used to do it a lot. The tumor grew exactly where he used to always point.
In the amygdala?
I'm not sure where. I have to go and actually listen. But isn't that crazy? Like just the connection of, I'm here thinking about suicide and I'm pointing, it's right here. And then over years of doing that, I get a brain tumor and it's right where you know what I'm saying? Like, think about the connection. And then there's the next story I'll tell you real quick, about a man who had, this is documented like science, right? A man who had cancer, right? Then fast forward, he ends up getting Alzheimer's, right? And after he got Alzheimer's, the cancer went away. I can't make this shit up.
Because he forgot.
I really can't make this shit up.
Sick.
I really can't make this shit up, kid. You think I would sit here and lie to you? Why would I embarrass myself and lie to you like that?
Yo, I know for a fact you're not lying, because I'm the one that's got all the declassified CIA and FBI documents on my motherfucking computer. I can tell y'all right now to go look at Project Stargate, which is now declassified information, where they're talking about astral projection in a crystalline universe that we live in. The CIA and the FBI have been pouring hundreds of millions of dollars into research and the shit. For what?
Come on now. Come on now. We late to the
party. I hit you on IG, man. I really want to talk to you, man. I'm so happy I found you, man. Like, my mental health is not so good, bro. I love your soul. Yo, if any of y'all tapped in with me and y'all need me or y'all need my services, please make sure you either DM me directly. If you don't get a response immediately from the DM, I'm not ignoring y'all. I really do get mad messages, and I do my best to answer everybody. Believe me, but it takes time, because I'm doing as much as humanly possible in my physical form. But you can email me directly. You can check the links in my bio. I do respond. I do. The CIA has more documents on the human mind than info on aliens. Now, that's a fact. Well, first off, hold on. I'm not going to say they have more. I'm not going to say they have more, because realistically what they're saying now is that there's so much information and documentation on quote-unquote aliens, but they just not trying to give us that shit. And how, why, and when, all you got to do is just go back to the motherfucking Vatican when they first started stealing all the information to hide that shit. Look at the fucking Renaissance pictures where they were painting spacecrafts and spaceships and the fucking shit. This has been going on. Look at the fucking information coming from Chem, where they're sitting there looking at the Anunnaki, and we're looking at Sumerian text and Babylonian text. They've all said the same thing throughout all of time. So I don't care if it's interdimensional beings or higher frequency beings. All world is but an iota of what reality is. And the only reason we're so disconnected from it is because we do not allow our thoughts to even intercept or interpret the possibility or plausibility of this reality. We either step the shit up here first, or we end up in the physical cage forever. Again, we die as heroes and martyrs of our own story, or we die in servitude.
You know what? The same doctor I was talking about, he was like, yo, the biggest problem people have is they try to avoid pain. And it's like, there's no painless options, baby. You got to pick what type of pain you want. Real shit. And like, is it the pain of discipline? Is it the pain of regret? Is it the pain of, you know what I'm saying? You know, being alone and not taking a risk in love, and or you know what I'm saying, or being in a relationship that is toxic just to say, oh, I've been married for 40 years. Like, the fuck? Like, come on now. Come on now. You think he said, literally, he said most people who have been married for a long time are not married necessarily because they're not still married just because it's a good relationship. Like, people just think, oh, they've been together for so long, I want a love like theirs. You have no
Optics.
idea if they even sleeping in the same fucking bed, if they even like each other. Bruh, come on now. Come on. Let's be real with let us be real. Let's be real. Like, or you don't even know the arrangements. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because people will be like, oh my gosh, Beyonce of all people, she's so stupid. She went back to Jay-Z after he cheated. Bruh, y'all don't know. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand, bruh. Marriage is a business. To me, marriage is when people, two or more people, I'm not saying in a romantic capacity. I'm saying when two or more people have the same mind state. To me, community is marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just,
I'm married to my tribe, and I have been since the beginning of time. Facts.
absolutely. So yeah, you know, there's no evading pain. You gotta pick, you know, you gotta pick what pain it is. And we have to, when going back to the lens, right? Negative emotions keep you alive. You don't, people think that true happiness is like, oh, I'm gonna be happy forever and nothing ever bad happens and I don't want to happen and da 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 da. And it's like, you would crash out, bro. You would crash out. At that point, you would create issues, because this shit, like, as human beings, we need in order to grow, in order to, you know what I'm saying, like, bring out the best in ourselves, we gotta go through some ugly shit. It's just facts.
Life is designed for us to suffer. People just don't want to accept that the suffering is a prerequisite of this lifetime. So they do everything in their power to evade the suffering, to abate the suffering, if they can, to numb themselves to the fact that they're suffering. That's why we got a plethora of drugs that people are using, not as tools to try to connect to a higher source or give themselves another lens, but to escape the reality of their own suffering. The same thing you said about the marriage. I know plenty of people that are married that talk to me. And when they talk to me, what they talk to me about is the unhappiness they experience in their day-to-day life because their partners are standing on a completely different square to them and they don't line up. But because of optics, because of fear, because society has trained the men to be afraid because they know they're going to lose their kids and lose their home and lose their life, we are all stuck in a cyclical cycle of self-destruction, and we have become our own prison guards. We are guarding ourselves from the greatest version of self because of fear and doubt that's been perpetuated on us by a broken fucking society.
Oh, you want to know what he said about brokenness too?
Tap in.
Okay, so I definitely have, I'm not saying brokenness doesn't exist, because I've definitely been in a state of brokenness for years. You know, I lost my mom when I was 18. I was in a state of brokenness for fucking 10 years. I mean,
May she rest in a warm embrace of the ancestors.
Blessings, Ashe. I appreciate you.
Ashe.
You know, but he said, this is the same doctor. He said, the brokenness is here, but we're whole underneath. The brokenness is a layer. You understand? And what helps us go back to the state of wholeness is our perception.
Yes.
Our perception is,
yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I could be like, damn, because this is how I felt when my mom died. I'm like, I told God, I was like, fuck you, nigga. I don't fuck with you. I don't like you at all. At all, because I had people in the church talking about my mom's gonna get better. Don't worry, and da da da. And I saw God talk to me in a dream, and He told me your mom's gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, people say shit. I appreciate you, Frenchie. People say shit, you know, religious shit, yeah, to make each other feel better, but like they don't. That shit had me fucked up. That shit had me mad at God, you know. And then years later, as I'm going through other shit in life, it is teaching me. First of all, I understand why it happened. Number one. Number two, I have an understanding now where we're going back to source. This is what has helped me get over the fear of even death, because we're going back to ourselves. We're all connected. We are literally all reflections. As you always say, we're all reflections of each other. where the laws of the universe. The first one is the law of
The
oneness.
law of oneness.
There you go. Thank you. Yeah, the law of oneness. So it's like that, because fear, bro, fear can make you. Fear is gonna bring out your faith, or it's gonna make you fail.
False evidence appearing real, or face everything and run.
Like those. I need to get some of this shit tatted. I need some sleep.
On God. On God. It's that time. It's that time. I'm living with this shit and I'm scared because it feel like it's going to kill me and have meant you in the physical yet. So I saw somebody ask me, what do I do earlier? I don't know. I live. I exist. That's what I do. I live and I exist as an observer. And I have taken time to enhance my mind, enhance my spirit, because I have lived in a state of perceived brokenness for many, many, many chapters of my life. And as I said before, I'll say right now, when you get broken by life and reality over and over and over again, at some point you stand in the mirror and realize you are unbreakable. How and why? Because if I was truly broken, how the fuck am I still here? Mm-hmm. We are unbreakable in the fact that, unlike those who have lost their physical, lost their way, or taken themselves off the board, we are still here. Even in our deepest pain, even in our darkest moments, you're still fucking here. That means you're unbreakable. I do have a podcast. It's Rise of the Lost. I'm in a new state. I just left New York because my life's on reset, so I'm in the process of getting everything squared away so I can get the new episodes up. That's why I've been posting all the old clips, because my past self was talking to my future self to prepare me for the moment that I'm in right now, and I'm just sharing those messages and lessons with y'all. That's all y'all seeing in real time, because if you go check everything I'm posting, it's from a fucking year ago. I just didn't post it a year ago. It's that fucking simple. Because I was speaking to my future self, and until I was walking the path, I couldn't share that information with y'all. I can't sit here and say, yo, this is the way to do if I'm not doing. I can't even say this is an example of doing if I'm not doing in real time. So yeah, my life shifted. My life got flipped. I could have easily took the victim route. I could have easily said, oh, woe is me. It's time for me to quit. Everything's against me. I stood in my own pain and darkness and remembered my fucking spark. And somebody asked, what do I do? If you check my links, I'm a quote unquote coach, because I will take the time to coach those that really want to get that one-on-one and not be in the public. So I understand. I will give y'all that time. Tap in. You can reserve some time with me. But I publicly do this shit because this is my service. I get a man. I don't get paid for this shit. They don't pay me for the live. They pay my posts. I get paid off the post. Don't get twisted. But when I do these lives and I get hours and hours to people, this is just me giving back because I know how important community is. I know that when I sat in a prison cell, it was the OGs that took the time to talk to me that kept me from getting myself a life fucking sentence so I could make my way home. So I know how important these conversations are. I know how rewarding and fulfilling these conversations are. Other than that, I was born for this music shit, so I got a plethora of fucking music on all platforms, music videos on YouTube. My numbers is up, my Spotify's popping. Tap the fuck in. Other than that, I'm on TikTok doing comedy shit and doing live workouts with motherfuckers when we gonna get right. I can get right. And other than that, I'm just existing, like I said, because no one gets to define who we are. We can define who we are from moment to moment, and that shit changes, shifts, morphs, because we are amorphous, but we got to see ourselves as such. Stop boxing yourself in.
That's a word. That's the word.
Yeah, shout out to everybody that choose to uplift themselves and uplift those around them. But remember, you cannot uplift anyone around you until you lift yourself. Because if you ever have attempted to help people when you haven't helped yourself, I'd like you to take the time to review your own past and be real. Did it ever really fucking work? Or did the only time you were able to quote unquote help people is when you were in the process of helping yourself? They watched you and mirrored what you did and then came back to say, hey, yo, I saw how you did it. I found my own way to do it. And now it's done. We can't save nobody from themselves. We can only save ourselves. And in a sense, we become the reflection to show others that it is a potential that you can tap into or not. It's a fucking choice.
Yes. He said, this one person said, the best way to help people is to accept them if you can. If it doesn't impose on your own personal boundaries, you know what I mean? Like accepting people. I feel like when people out here, quote unquote, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about other people who quote unquote are here to help people. a lot of times that's selfish. Hear me out. A lot of times it's selfish because they're like, I'm going to give you advice and then I'm going to get mad at you if you don't take this advice. And it's like, bro, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate your word. That doesn't mean I'm going to apply it the same way you want me to apply it. And so, you know, when people are in a rush to try to heal you because they want you to be on the same page as them, you know, in healing, Candace Love says the best. I love her. She's on here. She's like a self-healing coach too. And she talks about you rob them. You rob the people. When you try to rush somebody to heal, you rob them of the experiences because they got to go through it themselves the same way you went through it yourself, the same way I went through it myself. You know what I mean? We could be going through the same exact issue, but we can the way we get out could look totally different. It could take you 5 minutes. It could take me 3 years. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
And that doesn't take away it doesn't make me stupid for it taking me longer. This is something that we think in our head, right? Like, oh, I'm 33. For me, for example, I'm 33. I ain't got no kids. I'm not married, but like, I'm very grateful in life. You know what I'm saying, for that, because it's like, shit, I can pick up and leave and go wherever the fuck I want at any time. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, having a family is a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not in a rush. Who said it? I was listening to somebody today. Oh yeah, I think it was like, I can't remember who it was, but I wrote it down. I write down everything. I'd rather lay alone than with the wrong nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Talk the fuck about it.
Cause
talk the fuck about it.
The wrong person could set you back.
Yeah.
You know, but even when it's a setback, it's still a catalyst. It's your perspective.
Of course. Of course, I said it earlier. Are you the hero in your own story or the victim of another's? You got to make the choice, and it depends on which lens you choose to peer through. That's a choice. House of Synergy. For anybody that just asks, what's her IG? This is House of Synergy. You could tap the link. I don't know if at the top lets you tap it to see her page, but she's on my account. I'll be on her account. You'll be able to easily find House of Synergy. We've been tapped in for a little minute doing this thing, building this soul tribe up. So please make sure y'all follow them as we grow our accounts, we grow our reach, and we grow our community. Because if we don't do this shit together, then we really ain't doing it at all. No, I have her page I'm talking about. Oh, Candace Love. I'm not sure what Candace Love's page is. Ooh. The wrong person can have you down bad. You definitely got to choose wisely. That's a fact, Fretchie, that's a fact.
I put Candace Love. Oh my God, bro. Her and her husband, they go through in depth so much, like go through so much individual healing.
Yes.
And also relationship healing. Like, I'm not gonna talk too much about them, but yeah, they're dope as fuck.
Nah, that's real shit. That's real. I pinned the comment. If anybody want to follow Candace page, that's Candace Love at Candace 2S's.love. It's pinned on the bottom of the joint, so tap in. Make sure y'all say that if you want to tap in. But yeah, this shit is really is about the rebirthing of the village, the rebirthing of the tribes. Because as they try to sit here and convince us that tribalism is a negative thing, I'm so fucking confused. At what point did tribalism become negative if we literally dealing with tribes in real time now? You don't think it's a tribe? The few people that run the world, you don't think they're a tribe? No? You think they all just separate from each other, even though they have yearly meetings like Davos? Well, all of these motherfuckers that got all the power in the world just happen to go to the same place to discuss what direction the world's supposed to go and discuss which sections of the world's supposed to get killed off and then discuss which section of the world they should test out their fucking drugs on first, and it just so happens to be where the black and brown people are? Oh, what a fucking mystery. Scratch his head in disbelief.
You want to know the crazy thing? Even the word tribe, right? Because I heard you talk about etymology earlier, and I'm such a fucking nerd. I love etymology. Like, it's I have a whole bunch of cue cards somewhere. I write down definitions, and then when as I'm looking shit up, I'm like, damn, I thought I knew what this word was, and like I actually have no idea. So like, even when we talk about language, you know, like I was born in Ethiopia. I lived all over Africa, came to Canada, right? And so language, especially in the States is so fucking dope. But even in the States, from state to state, y'all have different accents, different lingos, different you know what I'm saying, the verbiage, you know what I mean, the group of words that y'all use is different, and the understanding behind those words is also very different. So I could be saying, hey yo, I want to grab some food, and then food has multiple meanings, you know what I'm saying? You already know the vibes. So it's like, people have to be on the same page in order to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so half the misunderstandings that happen is because of our language and because of people's willingness to understand. A lot of people don't have the intention to understand. A lot of people, when they speak, only actually just they want to tell you what to do, or they want to, you know what I'm saying? They want to get their point out, or they want to prove you right because whatever chip they have on their shoulder from other shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to, I almost want to, like, you know, it's going to be, you can't even ask somebody what their intention is because if they want to deceive you, they're going to lie about it. So you just have to be in tune. You just have to be in tune and really understand and see through the layers of what people tell you. You know what I'm saying? So.
Listen, the homie just said Black's Law Dictionary was an eye-opener. Black's Law Dictionary was in my grandmother's house since I was a child. It was one of the first things I read. And that's when I was taught in real time that the words are not only used against us, but we are taught how to use specific words to keep ourselves in mental bondage. It is mental bondage. We don't believe ourselves to be, because when we speak, we affirm that we are not. It is that fucking simple. They even got us calling ourselves black. Do y'all know what the fuck black is? None of us are fucking black. There's not a single fucking black person on the planet. Not one. But just for all intents and purposes, just to have a conversation, you gotta use the word, cause motherfuckers is like, oh damn, I don't even know what the fuck he talking about. This is crazy. What do you say? More? What do you mean no one's black? What do you mean no one's white? Look up the fucking word. Look in Black's Law Dictionary. Absence of life. Absence of life. So how the fuck could I be black if I'm the light bearer? Huh?
Yo, you want to know what's crazy? The correct term is actually melanin. And you want to know the crazier part? You want to know what melanin, the definition of melanin is?
Please.
Melanin is the absorption of light. Do you understand?
And black is the absence of. One more time, please. What is melanin?
Melanin is the absorption of light.
Message.
So literally, we are light personified. That's that. The more melanin you have, the more light you are made of light. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
We're light beings. So yes, there's a psychological war, because if somebody, for example, me, I'm light skinned. If I say I'm not black, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, what? So you're white? Oh my gosh, so like, you know what I mean? They'll just jump to that conclusion. Remember Raven Simone? I grew up watching Raven Simone. I love her. She said she's not black. And then I was also offended. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, bitch, the fuck you mean you're not black? I watched her because she was a brown skin, curvy motherfucking fat ass with braids and shit. And we never seen that on television before her.
Yeah.
We never seen that on television before her. So for me, I was like, damn, finally somebody that look like me for real. You know what I mean? But then to cancel her because, quote unquote, yeah, you know, she married a white girl, whatever, boom. You know, love is love. I don't think love is love. I don't give a fuck who you choose to marry. What I do give a fuck about is whether or not you love yourself. You know?
Right.
So
we all building up from a point of confusion. No matter how we perceive it, we're all coming from a point of confusion because they went out of their way to confuse us. They went out of their way to disillusion us to what reality truly is, and they went out of our way to convince us that those around us are our enemies versus those in power being our enemies.
Can I take it one step further? You know, obviously I'm on the same page with you when you're talking about oppressive regimes and, you know, all of that, right? We're on the same page. But even when we say that the government is against us, what's deeper is that what is the government made of? The government is made of people like me and you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially now more than ever, we do have people that look like us in these spaces.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the difference? If somebody can physically look like you, that doesn't mean they're going to look like you.
Mentally akin to you, yeah.
Right. And so yeah, you know, that in itself was really the point I was trying to make, is like we gotta, if we want to be understood, we gotta be willing to understand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If we want mercy, we got to be willing to give mercy. If we want kindness, we got to be willing to give kindness. If we want community and trust, we got to be trustworthy. One thing I love is the 42 laws of Ma'at. I already know you hip. I'm trying to remember where I put them. Yeah. Well, it's a lot to go through. You want me to go through them?
Go ahead. We ain't got nothing but time, open space, and opportunity.
Okay. So 42 ideals of Ma'at. Okay. Ma'at is a goddess of truth, cosmic balance, and justice. Ma'at had a central, real quick, background. Ma'at has a central role of weighing the heart, where the descendant's heart was weighed against a feather. So it means your light has to be lighter or as light as a feather, right? In order for you to be righteous. So number one is I honor virtue. Number two, I benefit with gratitude. Number three, I am peaceful. And in order to be peaceful, real quick, in order to be peaceful, you have to be capable of being dangerous. You know what I'm saying? It's choosing peace, right? So I respect the property of others. I affirm that all life is sacred. I give offerings that are genuine. I live in truth. I regard all altars with respect. I speak with sincerity. I consume only my fair share. I offer words of good intent. I relate in peace. I honor animals with reverence. I can be trusted. I care for the earth. I keep my own counsel. I speak positively of others. I remain in balance with my emotions. I am trustful in my relationships. I hold purity in high esteem. I spread joy. I do the best I can. I communicate with compassion. I listen to opposing opinions. I create harmony. I invoke laughter. I am open to love in various forms. I am forgiving. I am kind. I act respectfully of others. I am accepting. I follow my inner guidance. I converse with awareness. I do good. I give blessings. I keep the waters pure. I speak with good intent. I praise the goddess and the God. I am humble. I achieve with integrity. I advance through my own abilities, and I embrace the all. And to me, this should be, fuck the little 10 commandments, no disrespect to nobody, but like these are the real commandments. Like,
For those that don't know, Ma'at in this study goes back to the School of Chem. And the School of Chem is the Lost Libraries of Alexandria. Those that know it as Egypt because our history was stolen from us. Ma'at ties into the Book of the Dead. Because of the Book of the Dead, there's the Book of Life. I am under the School of Anpu. Anpu is Anubis for those that don't know. I am father and son. My nickname was Ra as a child. We are the light bearers. So yes, as you talk about weighing the heart against the feather, if you look at my fucking thumbnail, it is Anpu holding the staff, weighing the heart against the feather. For that is my task in life. And I am here to weigh the heart of man against the feather. And we will find out in real time who is standing in their own grace, standing in their own power, and who is here for our destruction. And you as the divine feminine, you are speaking exactly as you should of the protective nature. And I, as the divine masculine, am here to be the destroyer. Because if we do not have that duality, then we will not make it to the other side. So you are absolutely right. There shall be peace and there will be peace within. And we will make sure that our divine feminine exists in peace. But that means that all of us divine masculine are ready to destroy anything that stands in the path of our salvation. Ashe. For those that know, they know. For those that don't, they won't. And I ain't here to teach those that don't. It's that simple. I can't teach none. All I do is reach myself. And through that, we reflect to each other.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Tyler on the one. Love all day, King. I love your soul. I appreciate you for the most high. You know the fucking vibes. We here. Make sure y'all following Tyler on the one. That's another one of the chosen. That's another one of the chosen, man. I try to tell y'all, though, listen. God don't like it when you fuck with his children. I'm trying to tell y'all it's 2024. And the gods don't like it when you fuck with their chosen anointed ones. So stand in your light, stand in your grace, and make sure you protect your square and your space. Don't run from your emotion. Don't run from the fuel of anger and rage. Just as was stated earlier, House of Synergy, that was beautiful. Don't let that shit be your own poison. Don't poison yourself with your own anger because you're afraid to face it, observe it, and let it be the fuel for you to become the boat that sails across the Nile.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I suppressed my emotions for most of my life. Most of my life as a as a woman born in Ethiopia in East Africa. I probably would have been stoned to death by now if I was still over there. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Canada. But another thing, I keep going back to this doctor. His name is Gabor hold on, let me look at his name. But he talked about so much. Oh, sorry, hold on. He talked about so much. He talked about how when people he talked about when when people were diagnosed with like over his course, I think he's 80 years old, by the way. If you see him, he's 80 years old and he looks like he's a cool like 55. He's doing something right. And he was saying how most people that get diagnosed with terminal illnesses, they would tell him, they said, I know this is a weird thing to say, but they're like, I'm so happy this happened to me because it made me realize that most of my life I have not been authentic and I have not been myself. And the threat of death made me force them to start being their authentic self. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, even though we may see something as negative, like it could be for our protection. You know what I'm saying? You never know. You never know.
That's a fact. Peace to God.
Key word, peace and love to the panel. Shout out to the queen. Shout out to the God. I see you, my brother. Once again, I highly appreciate you. You always show the acknowledgement. I always tell you that's hard to give. But thank you for being you and always showing me acknowledgement. That's all I give a fuck about. And thank you. One thing that I did learn, King, that every man and woman, key word, we have powers, but most of us will not be able to morphemize. And most of us will, keyword, shall die without morphemizing at all. I have learned that. Most of us are not protectors at all because most can't morphemize. And it's not their fault. I have learned that, King. People gonna die without morphemizing. Man and woman. Most can't do it. You have to know self to be able to morphemize and give off beautiful vibrations. You have to be somewhat tuned into self to give up beautiful visions and beautiful ideas and beautiful thoughts and positive, you know what I'm saying, good clarity. And yes, 1 second, baby girl. It's Smokey. You can come. 1 second.
Said something is rubbing. They can't hear you clearly, King. I think something's rubbing on your receiver, your mic, and we can't hear you clearly. I can hear you, but they saying they can't hear you clearly.
What about now? Can they hear me now, King?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. Now, what was I saying, guys? I was saying keyword that every man and woman cannot morphemize. The reason why we can't morphemize because those great souls that was around us that did help us morphemize, they no longer here.
Mani said, what does morphemize mean? I can't see the comments for some reason.
Oh.
Yeah, they playing with the live now.
It's too good right now. It's too good.
Morphemizing is becoming and finding the divine within self, knowing self, picking up self, helping self, protecting self, helping others, protecting others, showing others, giving out the divine correction, teaching the divine direction, being physically in divine shape, physically listening and tuning into beautiful music and writing and reading and working and ditching. That's how you morphemize. That's what I mean by morphemizing. Most can't do that. Most don't have visions. Most can't even envision. We can't. Most of us can't do that. That is not easy to have a vision inside a secret brain that always constantly talks to self, especially if you can't handle it. You're talking to yourself all day. Yeah, so it's hard to have visions, King. Only the real true God's got visions. That's why you only see a select few like him, such as myself and others that are out there that have great powers and And it's actually moving the unit. It's actually moving people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people are actually awoken. We here. We definitely here. But it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy to be positive. It's not easy to think with a clear head. That